if you are over 65, what I'm about to tell you may determine whether you reach 85 in strength or decline long before that. I am 88 years old. I worked as a nurse for 47 years. I have watched monitors flatline. I have felt hands grow cold in mine. I have stood in hallways while families cried behind closed curtains. And after thousands of deaths, I can tell you something that may surprise you. Most of them did not have to die when they did. Not at 68, not at 72, not at 79. It wasn't fate. It wasn't just old age. It was habits. Ordinary habits, defended habits, repeated daily after 65. And you may be doing at least 2 of them right now. I know what separates the people who make it to 90 walking on their own from those who begin declining in their early 70s. The difference is not dramatic. It is subtle. It is quiet. It is daily. Let me show you what I saw. Habit 1. Sitting more than you move. The first pattern became obvious in the early 1990s. The patients who declined the fastest were not always the sickest. They were the stillest. Retired men who watched television for hours, widows who sat in the same chair most of the day, grandparents who believed morning exercise was enough. After 65, your body changes rapidly. Muscle loss accelerates, balance weakens, circulation slows. Your lymphatic system, the system that clears waste, depends on movement. Without movement, inflammation builds quietly. One of my patients, Robert, was 70 when I first met him. He had no major disease, no alarming lab results, but he sat for nearly 10 hours a day. At 73, he fell. At 74, he needed a cane. At 76, he needed help dressing. At 78, he was gone. Nothing dramatic caused it. It was accumulation. Here's the truth most people misunderstand. 1 hour of exercise does not undo 10 hours of sitting. Movement must be consistent. Stand every hour. Walk around your home. Carry your own groceries. Climb stairs slowly. Garden. Stretch. Motion is not optional after 65. It is preservation. Habit 2. Sleeping but not restoring. The second habit is more dangerous because people feel proud of it. I only sleep 5 hours. I've always been a light sleeper. I don't need much rest. After 65, poor sleep accelerates aging faster than most people realize. During deep sleep, your brain clears toxic proteins linked to memory decline. Your immune system recalibrates. Hormones regulating repair are released. Broken sleep is worse than short sleep. If you wake repeatedly, even briefly, your brain never completes restoration cycles. I saw this pattern repeatedly. Sharp minds at 67, forgetful at 74, confused at 78. And when I asked about sleep, the answer was almost always the same. It's never been good. One woman, Elaine, laughed about surviving on 4 hours per night. By 77, she struggled to recognize old friends. Sleep is not weakness, it is maintenance, protected fiercely. No television in bed, dim lights in the evening, consistent bedtime, address snoring or sleep apnea, limit late caffeine. 7 hours is not indulgence, it is defense. Habit 3, living in quiet isolation. This one is the most underestimated. Loneliness does not feel like a disease, but biologically it behaves like one. After 65, social circles shrink, spouses pass away, friends relocate, children grow busy. Days become quieter, then weeks. Isolation raises cortisol. Cortisol increases inflammation. Inflammation damages arteries and weakens immunity. I watched patients with manageable health conditions outlive perfectly healthy widows who stopped socializing. There was a woman named Teresa. Her husband died at 71. She stopped attending church, stopped answering calls, stopped attending family gatherings. She wasn't depressed. She insisted she was fine. But her weight dropped. Her energy faded. Her immune system weakened. She died at 75 from complications that should have been survivable. Humans are not designed to age alone. Connection is biological protection. Call someone, join something, volunteer, attend weekly gatherings, walk with neighbors. Conversation is medicine. Habit 4, eating like you're still 40. This habit angers people when I speak about it, because for decades we were told the wrong things. Low fat, high grains, orange juice every morning, toast and jam, cereal. After 65, your metabolism shifts. Your insulin sensitivity decreases. Your muscles use glucose less efficiently. Inflammatory responses increase. What was manageable at 45 becomes damaging at 70. I began adjusting my own diet at 67. More protein, more vegetables, healthy fats, far fewer refined carbohydrates. Within months, my energy stabilized, my joint pain lessened, my lab results improved. I watched patients reverse pre-diabetes simply by removing daily sugar spikes. After 65, food should protect muscle and stabilize blood sugar. Protein at every meal, vegetables daily, minimize refined flour and sugar. Your body cannot afford constant spikes anymore. Habit 5. Chronic worry. This one is subtle. It hides behind personality. I've always been anxious. I just care too much. But constant low-level worry keeps your nervous system activated. Stress hormones remain elevated. Blood pressure increases. Sleep deteriorates. Inflammation rises. Over years, this compounds. I had 2 women, same age, similar health. One practiced gratitude daily. One consumed news constantly and worried about everything. within 5 years, their aging trajectories looked completely different. You cannot eliminate stress, but you can reduce unnecessary exposure. Limit news consumption. Practice slow breathing. Spend time outdoors. Pray. Meditate. Journal. Peace is not luxury. It is longevity. The hardest lesson of my life. Now, I need to tell you something personal. My sister was 3 years younger than me. We grew up inseparable, shared a bedroom, shared secrets, shared dreams of growing old together. She was kind, brilliant, funny, but she refused to change. She sat for hours knitting because her knees hurt. She ignored her sleep problems. She loved sweets. She worried constantly about her children. I begged her to walk with me, to adjust her diet, to see a sleep specialist. She would smile and say, "I'm fine, stop fussing." At 71, she began falling. At 74, she needed help shopping. At 77, she forgot appointments. At 80, she needed daily assistance. At 83, she died. But what haunts me is not the number 83. It's the last 12 years. I watched her shrink, watched frustration replace laughter, watched independence fade. She once whispered to me in the hospital, "I thought I had more time." That sentence still echoes in me. Time was not the problem. Habits were. 83 could have been strong, vibrant, clear-minded. Instead, it was gradual diminishment. And that is what most people misunderstand. It's not just about reaching 85. It's about how you reach it. I am 88. I live alone. I cook. I walk daily. I sleep 7 hours. I meet friends weekly. I guard my peace. I am not lucky. I paid attention to patterns, and I am telling you what I saw. Most people who die before 85 did not have to. It was not destiny. It was accumulation. Sitting, poor sleep, isolation, inflammatory eating, chronic stress. Small habits repeated daily over years. You do not need to change everything tonight. Pick one. Stand up every hour. Protect your sleep. Call someone tomorrow. Change your breakfast. Turn off the news earlier. One correction changes trajectory. I have buried patients who assumed they had decades left. I have heard families whisper, "If only we had known." Now you know, and here is what I want you to do. Do not just listen. Comment below and tell me, which one of these 5 habits are you going to change first? Movement, sleep, loneliness, food, worry. When you write it down, you make it real. And if you know someone over 65 who needs this message, send it to them. Because most people die before 85, not from sudden catastrophe, but from quiet patterns they never corrected. You are still here. You still have choice. And the direction of the next 20 years may depend on what you do after this video ends. So tell me, what will you change starting today?